We back with the Box Clinic more. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to the Lions Den Box Community, LDBC, and shout out to the YTBC. We back on the boxing grind. Talking about HBO and their poor investment into the middleweight division without a good blueprint to kind of execute, their investment. But me and Moni Brown talked about this yesterday a little bit on the live stream for the brothers that was on there with us. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Look forward to doing more collabs with Moni Brown TV and more collabs with a lot of other different channels. But don't forget to subscribe to my homie Moni Brown TV, MONNIE Brown TV. And shout out to the homie Trap House Boxing. Y'all go support and subscribe to both of those channels. And early morning jab session. Trap House Boxing got me motivated to do them early morning videos. Get up and do that. But we talking about this middleweight division and how they invested money into Golovkin and Canelo. But they not fighting. Nobody's fighting each other in this division. They invested money in Andrade. He had a 3-fight deal. Jacobs got a 5 or 6 fight deal. And Shevchenko, he works with him strongly. They're really pushing him to try to make, him and Andrade fight. It was going to be if Andrade accepted the Shevchenko challenge, this time around, it would have been in April 28th. It would have fell on the Danny Jacobs card. That's what they were shooting for. But it didn't. But, also they work strongly with Gary Spike O'Sullivan now. He's with Golden Boy, Billy Joe Saunders, Luis Arias. And quite frankly, what's the point of signing all these fighters or working closely with all these fighters if they can never touch the ultimate goal? And the ultimate goal is to get, Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez. And also the ultimate goal is to prove that you're better than the rest and waiting for them. And none of these guys are going to fight each other. Obviously, Demetrius Andrade said he ain't fighting Danny Jacobs because of the relationship they have outside the ring. He's ducking Shevchenko. He says he wasn't ready for Billy Joe Saunders. And we talk about him in a second. Said he would rather fight Gary Spike O'Sullivan to kind of build up to the middleweight division. And obviously, HBO is going to help protect the king and queen of the middleweight division on the HBO side and Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. They're already selling the third fight before they even officially announced the second fight. So, Peter Nelson says, after Eddie Hearn says he wants to make Jacobs and Canelo or Jacobs and Golovkin rematch. And Peter Nelson says, well, he has to create demand. They have to create demand, him and Sulik, the guy that he's fighting. He's the Polish guy, he's undefeated. How do you create demand when nobody cares about the fight to begin with? How you create demand is fighting the next best, middleweight out there. May it be Andrade, may it be Shevchenko, may it be Jamal Charlo. You got to take these risks. That's how you create demand. He's not able to create demand. And I thought he created enough demand by almost beating Golovkin in the first fight. Most people believe he beat him. So basically, Eddie Hearn is holding up Daniel Jacobs' career because he's trying to hold out hope for Canelo and Gennady Golovkin fight. Now, nobody knows what was promised to Danny Jacobs when he signed the HBO fight. They could have handshake agreement that they would get him the Triple G and Canelo fight, and I believe that as well, because they probably told him, "Oh yeah, we can make that happen." But at the end of the day, they can't tell with Golovkin and Canelo what to do. They can't, and they really thought that Daniel Jacobs might get that shot. And the only reason that Golovkin really fought Daniel Jacobs the first time because he thought he was vulnerable, and we get into that in another video. But they don't know who they signed on Andrade. They tried to keep him away from Showtime, signed him back with Showtime. He had a good relationship with Showtime when he left ESPN and stepped up on an elite level in boxing. But how do you invest all that money into these fighters all these years and you don't have them fight each other? That's like you having all the perfect ingredients to create this great cheesecake or this great pound cake or this great red velvet cake, whatever it may be. But you don't use them. You don't mix them all together. You're unwilling to make this marvelous dessert. And all these ingredients are just sitting here. So basically, what HBO did, they signed these guys to keep them from the competition. Because it don't sound like Peter Nelson cares if they fight each other. Oh, they got to create demand. I can't create demand if I'm Danny Jacobs if I don't have the opponents to create demand. If I knock out this Polish guy, who cares? He has no following. He has no backing. He has no rep. amongst casual boxing fans. Now, I knock out Andrade. All right, we know people seeing Andrade on ESPN. He is supposed to be this phenomenal Olympian that came into the pros and tear it up. Didn't do that, but people still familiar with him. You know, Shevchenko hasn't built that up yet, and Shevchenko and Danny Jacobs have the same trainer and same management, basically, from what I hear. So, you know, you glad, you know, you work closely when you work closely with both of those guys that they wasn't gonna fight either. So what is HBO doing? You know, what are they doing? Not doing nothing. Bad investment. Now, we talked about Premier Boxing Champions earlier, protecting their investments, not only from the outside now, from Top Rank, Golden Boy, Main Events, ESPN, HBO, 80 Hearn, whoever it may be. They protecting their investments in network. Now they protecting their fighters away from their fighters. HBO is is rotting their investments from the inside. They protecting their main asset in Canelo and Triple G. Already promoting the third fight. And the rest of the people they sign, they just sitting here. They basically sign them to control them, to basically not create demand to want to fight Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez. Now, what I mean by that is they kept their enemies closer than they keep their friends. So they keep these guys close, and you know, they keep these guys, you know, at bay, and keep putting them in situations where, you know, you got to create demand for Canelo Golovkin. You know what? You got to beat that guy with only your right hand next time. Oh, you know what? Next time, you know, don't use your left leg. You know, they want to putting hurdles in there until they time run out, and then, you know, it is what it is. HBO don't have any intentions on creating a new star. They happy with milking the guys that they got, and we're going to get into another video about Triple G and Canelo next, you know, coming up real soon after you see this video. But basically, they sign these guys to keep them away from the competition. And the only way that Jacobs can create demand, Andrade can create demand, Shevchenko can create demand, is not by fighting not by fighting David Lemieux and the rest of the gang. It's by fighting Jamal Charlo and fighting each other for the most part. But Billy Joe Saunders, so as we get into that, we ended with that. They dropped the ball on Billy Joe Saunders. They should have paid Billy Joe Saunders as much money as they could to go with HBO and fight some of these guys. But they would have signed him. He probably wouldn't have fought some of these guys as well. He'd still be waiting for Golovkin. So, you know, it is what it is. Billy Joe Saunders, if Golovkin don't pop, he's going to move up and fight George Groves, and Danny Jacobs is going to end up getting the WBO title. But we gone.